Far above the multiverse, in the Grand Priest's sacred domain, a decision was being made that would change the course of history. The Grand Priest stood motionless, his glowing eyes staring at the cosmic images flickering in front of him, projections of Goku's battle with Beerus. The Omni Kings sat on their floating thrones, watching the fight with wide eyes. "So fun! So fun!" they cheered in unison. Yet beneath their playful nature, something darker lurked. The Grand Priest could sense it. A growing concern. The Supreme Kais, the gods of destruction, and the angelic attendants were all gathered as well, each watching the spectacle before them. Murmurs of uncertainty echoed among them. "This power is unnatural," said Belmod, the god of destruction from Universe 11. "It's evolving beyond comprehension. What if it surpasses even our authority?" Liquir, the fox-like god of destruction from Universe 8, folded his arms. "Goku is strong, but if he can't control this energy, we may have to consider alternatives." Weiss remained silent, observing his pupil's movements. His calm demeanor did little to soothe the rising tension. The Grand Priest finally spoke, his voice echoing through the celestial halls. "A trial shall be held." Everyone turned toward him. "A trial?" Beerus asked, narrowing his golden eyes. The Grand Priest nodded. "Goku's power has reached an unprecedented state. If he cannot prove control over it, we must act to preserve balance." Beerus clenched his fists. "You mean erase him?" The room fell silent. Zeno giggled, swinging his legs. "Erase Goku? But he's so fun." The Grand Priest's expression remained firm. "Even fun can become dangerous, Zeno-sama." The words carried a weight that even Zeno did not ignore. Back on Beerus's planet, the battle raged on. Goku had been forced to evolve his power, faster than he ever imagined. Each clash with Beerus sent shockwaves through space. Each moment he fought, the golden aura around him pulsed with a mysterious energy that distorted reality itself. But something was wrong. As he exchanged blows with Beerus, Goku felt it. His body wasn't entirely his own. His movements became unpredictable, shifting between calculated strikes and erratic surges of power. His mind clouded, thoughts racing beyond his comprehension. It was as if something inside him was trying to take control. "This power, is it really mine?" he thought. Beerus capitalized on the hesitation, landing a devastating punch to Goku's gut. The Saiyan coughed, staggering backward. But before he could recover, a pulse of energy erupted from his body, uncontrolled, chaotic. The sky above them tore open. A swirling vortex appeared, distorting the fabric of space and time. The sheer force of the phenomenon sent Beerus skidding backward, his eyes wide with rare alarm. Whis' eyes gleamed with intrigue. "Oh my, that's new." Goku clutched his head, his vision blurred, his senses twisted between past and future, between different realities. And then, he heard it, a voice from within. "You are not ready." Goku's heart pounded. "Who's there?" But there was no answer, only an overwhelming surge of power. As Goku struggled, a new presence arrived. A rift in space opened, and from within, the Grand Priest himself descended onto Beerus's world. His ethereal glow cast an eerie calm over the battlefield. The gods of destruction followed, their collective power radiating authority. Goku, panting, looked up in surprise. "What's going on?" The Grand Priest's gaze met his. "Son Goku, you have awakened something beyond our comprehension. We can no longer ignore it." Beerus crossed his arms. "They think you might be too dangerous to keep around, Saiyan." Goku's expression hardened. "You mean they want to erase me?" The Grand Priest nodded. "Not yet. But your power will be tested." Goku stood tall, despite his exhaustion. "Then bring it on." The supreme trial of divinity was about to begin. The heavens trembled as the supreme trial of divinity was officially announced. The decision had been made. Son Goku would stand before the highest authorities of the multiverse to determine his fate. The Grand Priest had called upon the gods of destruction, the supreme Kais, and the greatest warriors from each universe to witness the event. The battlefield was chosen, an ethereal realm beyond time and space, a void where reality itself could be shaped by the Grand Priest's will. This sacred place had never been used for combat before. It was where divine law was decreed. And now, it would serve as the proving ground for Goku's ultimate test. Zeno sat upon his floating throne, swinging his feet back and forth, excited yet strangely silent. His innocent expression hid something more serious, a growing uncertainty. The Grand Priest raised his hand. The trial shall commence. Goku cracked his knuckles, stepping forward onto the celestial battlefield. The moment his feet touched the surface, golden ripples spread outward. His body responded to the divine energy, his aura pulsating in sync with the strange power dwelling inside him. He could feel it stirring, but he still had no control over it. Beerus stood behind him, arms crossed, watching closely. You better not embarrass Universe 7, Saiyan. Goku grinned. I don't plan to. A moment of silence stretched across the realm before the Grand Priest spoke again. To determine whether Son Goku is a threat or an asset, we shall test his power against an opponent fitting of this divine trial. From the void, a figure emerged. Tall, draped in white and gold garments, his silver eyes glowing with omniscient wisdom. He bore a resemblance to the angels, but radiated a power unlike any other. He was the first of his kind, a warrior of absolute neutrality, created by the Grand Priest himself. I present to you, Tenrai, the Divine Sentinel, the Grand Priest declared. He exists beyond mortal and divine limitations. He will serve as your opponent. Goku's eyes gleamed with excitement as he took his stance. All right, let's see what you got. Tenrai, however, did not assume a stance. He merely floated in place, observing Goku with a gaze that pierced through his very soul. Your energy is unstable, Tenrai stated. You do not belong to any single plane of existence. That is dangerous. Goku smirked. I've always been a bit of an oddball. Tenrai remained emotionless. Then let us see if you are worthy to exist. The battle began with a blinding flash. Goku lunged forward, throwing a powerful punch, but before his fist could connect, Tenrai vanished, not through speed, but by bending reality itself. Goku's eyes widened as his punch struck empty space. Suddenly, Tenrai appeared behind him, delivering a crushing blow to Goku's back. The Saiyan was sent hurtling through the void, but he recovered instantly, flipping midair and firing a devastating Kamehameha. The energy wave tore through space. But before it could reach Tenrai, it simply disappeared. What? Goku gasped. Tenrai extended his hand, and Goku's own energy reappeared, hurtling back at him at 10 times the original power. Boom! The explosion rocked the battlefield. When the smoke cleared, Goku stood with clenched fists, a determined grin forming. Man, you're tricky, but I love a challenge. His aura flared, and for the first time, the golden energy deep within him flickered to life. Wesses narrowed his eyes. It's happening again. The Grand Priest's expression remained unreadable. This will be the true test. Goku charged again, this time tapping into Ultra Instinct. His movements became effortless, weaving through Tenrai's attacks like flowing water. He managed to land a solid strike to Tenrai's chest, an attack that should have shattered mountains. But Tenrai did not move. Instead, he raised a single hand, touching Goku's forehead. A shockwave erupted, sending Goku flying backward. But something felt different. His vision blurred, his senses expanded. He could see beyond the battlefield, beyond the very fabric of time itself. For a brief moment, he saw Zeno's true form. Not the childlike being he had always known, but something infinitely vast. A presence that existed beyond all things. And then, it vanished. Goku gasped, gripping his chest. His golden aura surged wildly, warping space around him. He looked at his hands. His body was changing again. Tenrai studied him. Your power. It is not yours alone. The Grand Priest raised a hand, stopping the fight. That is enough. Goku turned to him in confusion. What? But I was just getting started. The Grand Priest's eyes glowed with divine judgment. You do not understand the power you wield, Son Goku. It is no longer just your strength, it is something far greater. Something even Zeno himself may not fully comprehend. A murmur ran through the gods. For the first time, the idea of something beyond Zeno had been spoken. Zeno himself tilted his head, his expression unreadable. Goku stood firm. Then teach me. If this power is dangerous, I have to learn to control it. The Grand Priest's gaze softened. Very well. The trial is not over. It is only beginning.